Hi Gemini, this is your February 2015 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, and this is for everyone who have their ascendant, sun or moon in Gemini. And I advise you at least to check your ascendant and your sun signs, which are astrologically, everyone checks their sun sign, but if you check your ascendant sign, you'll get more insights and you can mix the meanings of both signs and you'll see that both are happening. Because the ascendant sign is what happens to us in the physical body, in the tangible world. And you can find them out from my birth chart calculator, from the planetary aspect, from the planetary detail table, but you need to know your time of birth for the ascendant sign. And you can also, if you have any questions that you want to be answered immediately, you can ask me for a reading, 10-minute reading. I'm online there. Or you can ask any of my psychics, which immediately respond 24/7, and I've scouted them personally from around the world. They're fantastic. I followed their work for years. I'm very happy. All the clients are very happy. And I only partner with people I have total trust in as of their skills and professionalism. So what's happening in February for you, Gemini? Okay, first of all, there are two planets in your 10th house, Venus and Mars. And 10th house is your social status. And both planets are very passionate. Venus and Mars are very passionate. Your social status and also your career. So this is when the passion starts running high. And there might be sometimes clashes a little bit with authority figures, so figures standing higher than you. But at the same time, you manage to appease the situation pretty quickly because Mars is this more angry planet while Venus is this very soothing planet. And both are there. So there are indeed passions, but Venus manages to help you become more diplomatic in dealing if there are any conflicts with authority figures and fixing any problems with a more softer touch in regards to your career or in regards to any authority figures, whether it's father figures, whether it's professors, whether it's bosses, whether it's government people. Also, 10th house is your social status. So you kind of Mars puts a lot of energy there, and this happens once every 2.5 years that Mars vivifies and energizes your career sector for about a month and a half. And this process started in January and it continues for most of February, where you're given a chance once every 2.5 years to, and right now in February as well, to basically get things moving, to basically hunger. Because Mars is hunger for higher social status and go after it. But you are the ones who should make the initiative steps. And because Venus joins Mars, it makes it more of a pleasurable pursuit for you. It makes it easier because Venus facilitates things. So it's not only struggles to climb the social ladder or to get some recognition or to get higher on the social step. It's at the same time you're getting pleasure out of it and you're getting more easily the results and fixing whatever problems there are there. So Mars gives you this hunger in regards to career, this hunger and like an inner drive, but Venus also satiates and makes sure that some of this hunger is answered immediately. So some of you, for example, might want in February to make an impression to a boss and to really do some project very well. This is Mars. Oh, I want. Mars is like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to really put a lot of physical energy, and Mars is this planet of energy. And I'm going to, to get more noticed socially, it means basically in your career. And at the same time, because Venus goes there, it means that the bosses will notice you. They will appreciate the work that you're putting at the same time, Okay, and also Venus can help you if there were any problems that started with your career in the past month or two. Venus can help smooth these out now in February, the first 20 days of February, because Mars usually tends to also escalate problems, put them to the surface so you can deal with them. But when Venus comes, it makes sure that you deal with those problems faster and easier. There is another influence for you. The Sun and Mercury are in your 9th house. And anyone who is involved in higher education in some way, this is a very productive month for them. Anyone who has to study, take exams, lectures, courses, something like that. Mercury being there, still in your 9th house, which started in January. You might be taking some exams, so you might be, working very hard on preparing some high education materials or trying to get accepted somewhere. Mercury makes sure that you're using the best of your skills and helps you with your community, with your left brain activities, which is the rational, which is remembering. So any kind of exams, it can help you. Any kind of preparing of presentations and documents that you have to present in regards to higher education is good. And 9th house is also travel. Some of you might be traveling, especially if your ascendant is Gemini, it might be felt more strongly, but also Sun in Gemini. 9th house is foreigners, people who in their work are connected in some way with foreigners, or maybe foreign export, import, or maybe doing translations for foreigners, or maybe working with foreigners in any way. This will be a very busy month again, because 9th house rules anything to do with foreign countries, with different cultures. Whether you'll be traveling there and expanding your mind through that, or whether you will be just any kind of work you're doing with people who are in foreign places or with foreign countries, just gets more of a push, more of the sun vitalizes, energizes that area of your life. So this is auspicious. Any kind of activities there are auspicious. And you feel a bit more vitalized overall because the sun is in Aquarius, which is another air sign. And the sun, when the sun is in other air signs, like your air sign, Gemini, it vitalizes you. It gives you more optimism, more faith, more positive attitude. It makes you feel, and especially in the 9th house of the higher mind, which means it gives you a bigger perspective. If you've been bogged down in certain problems for a month or two before, if you are feeling more negative, more overwhelmed, when the sun goes into the air sign in February now, in Aquarius, you start to see the bigger picture, and you're able to see why some negative things happen to you, and to see how to turn it into a positive, to see the silver lining in the cloud. And maybe someone like an advisor, mentor, because 9th house rules all those people who are advisors, who are God sent, who your higher self sends to give you an advice, to point you in the right direction. You can encounter more such people now in February and take their advice. They're there like, the universe can give you more signs, because the universe speaks to us through the 9th house. This is the house of philosophers, the house of prophecies, the house of God, the house of communication with angels and such things. So your higher self can be leaving you certain, or sending you people that give you a great idea, that give you a great advice, listen to them, that inspire you, that help you see a problem from a different perspective. And you might be having more important conversation with such people. If you want to counsel someone, a life coach, not someone to, to solve your material problems, but like a life coach, someone to give you a higher perspective on things, someone to give you advice how to deal with certain things. Now is the time to do it, and you can receive such help from such mentor figures. And it's not necessary that it should be a teacher of yours. It can come into the shape of your friend, into the shape of your spouse that gives you a good advice, or just maybe you read something on the newspaper, or you see something on TV that can give you a brilliant idea, and can be like, sparks a lamp in your head, a lamp of hope, a lamp of the future of something that you have to do. So look out for those signs, Gemini. Okay, I want to give you some specific days now. Those of you, I want to warn you though, on the 1st of February, so the last few days of January, the first few days of February, Venus joins in your 10th house of career, Neptune. People can make certain promises to you in regards to your career the first week of February, which might be a bit too nice, or maybe there is something not so clear there. But it's something positive, but the situation is not fully formed, so to speak. It's not fully clear. So be a bit cautious. Like, don't take it at face value. know that there is something deeper within, something that is not fully clear to you yet. It might get clarified a bit later. Sorry. And Gemini, I want to give you some specific days. Those of you who are born from around, let me just check, 2-3 degrees, which means that from around the 24th, even from the 23rd, 24th of May till around the 26th of May, 26th, 27th of May. So those 3-4 days, basically more of the May-born Gemini, maybe a day before, a day after. Those more May-born Gemini, they're having Saturn transit, or if you're ascendant, is from around 2 to around 6 degrees in Gemini. You're having Saturn transit, which happens for the first time for you. Maybe you started feeling it in January, and the Saturn transit will be very strong in February, March, probably as well, April. But this whole transit starts in February now, and continues till fully it's out of your life next October 2015, or November almost. But I want to warn you that now, if you're born on those degrees with sun or moon, or those days, or ascendant, you know, that Saturn requires hard work. Saturn requires cutting off the dead wood from your life. So you'll be cutting off relationships, very likely, people. You'll be reevaluating and reassessing important relationships, important connections that you have. They might be business or personal relationships, what people you associate with. You might be getting more extra pressure from other figures, because it's the opposition aspect, which means someone else. If you are here, Saturn is opposite there in the opposite sign, sending aspect to your ascendant Sun and Moon, which means you're being, someone else might be putting more demands and pressures on you, and requiring you to either grow up, to be more mature, to take certain steps, or maybe might even be putting you down, because Saturn has suppressing influence. But at the same time, it might be, if you're not externalizing it, it might be you yourself that start feeling a bit more hard on yourself, more judgmental, more critical towards yourself. Thinking like, right, now it's time for me to grow up, to mature. You're given more responsibilities, and you have to accept those. If you escape from responsibilities right now, for the next 1 year almost, you just might get even depressed. You need to take those new responsibilities. Don't break your back. Don't overburden yourself. But now, these are pivotal moments in your life when Saturn is there, aspecting your planets, when you have to grow up, mature, take extra responsibilities, and things are slowed down. It feels like everything is done with more effort, with more obstacles in a sense. You might feel a bit more down, so it's good not to lose your, the perspective of why you're doing this. And if those responsibilities are put on you from outside without you wanting it, you just have to accept it as a karmic duty you have to pay off. And when you pay it off, after that, the universe brings you new opportunities, don't worry. And then there is another batch of Geminis which are having a very different experience. They're having much more uplifting experience. Those are the Geminis who have their ascendant from 14 till 19 degrees. 14 till 19, probably plus minus a degree or two. In Gemini, they can have great support from others, basically. They can have, right now, because Jupiter is sending wonderful aspect to their 7th house cusp, if your ascendant is from 14 till 19 Gemini. And you can get good, just the opposite of what I told you. Basically, for what I told you for the Saturn people. So those other Gemini group, they're getting expansion through others. Others can be helping them. Improvement in relationships, whether they're business or personal. New opportunity for relationships, for business partnerships, for new clients coming to them, because 7th house rules all those other people in our life. Or there is a little bit softer help from Jupiter to another group of Gemini. Their sun or ascendant, their sun or moon is at those degrees, basically. at from 14 till 19 degrees Gemini, which means that they're born from around the 5th to around the 11th of June, plus minus a day or two, 5th to 11th of June. They have this uplifting Jupiter influence. It's a weaker aspect. It's not the full 100% aspect. It's about 30-40% aspect strength. But again, it allows some opportunities to blossom. You need to make an effort. Things don't come and fall into your lap, like they don't come to you fully formed. You need to make an effort, but the circumstances around you are very beneficial. So embrace those. What opportunities come, work on them, and you'll see very quickly good results. So it's so different than the Saturn influence. The Saturn is work hard. You'll probably, things will slow down and you'll not see the results immediately. But you're being tested now and you're being toughened up. While the Jupiter people, a bunch of Gemini people that I mentioned, they're like, now you're receiving certain rewards, you're getting new opportunities, they happen with more ease, time to expand rather than contract. So thank you very much, Gemini, and hope you enjoyed this horoscope, and I will see you next month.